Hey everyone. First of all, I just want to say that I'm not great at making videos, so please bear with me. I'm going to try to make this as concise as I can. The reason that you're looking at a picture of the electoral map on your screen is that I just wanted something there that's relevant to what I'm talking about. It's a guy who's making a video, this is on YouTube, about how he thinks it's going to play out. I don't necessarily agree or disagree with him, but you'll see him clicking different things on different states. It really doesn't have anything to do with what I'm talking about. So I'm going to get right to it. This year we have seen something happen that hasn't happened in any other year, and I think it's going to cause a great deal of confusion and problems coming up in the next couple months. Everybody is pointing to this November 7th election, the popular vote. I don't think that's going to have anything to do with who our next president is. We have something called the Electoral College, and I know everybody is very familiar with that, but what people may not realize is that, for example, in Florida, we have 29 electors that are set by the Republicans, 29 different electors that are set by the Democrats, 29 for the Green Party, 29 for the Libertarian Party. Whoever wins the plurality of the vote in Florida, that particular person's electors go vote on December 9th in the Electoral College. Now, while this may or may not happen in Florida, those electors are not bound by law to vote for Mr. Trump. The Republican electors are not. The Democrat ones are not bound to vote for Miss Clinton. Now, people might say, well, yeah, but why wouldn't they? Well, if we look back to the way the Republican primary went, the Republicans that were on the stage with him at the first debate all promised to support whoever the eventual nominee was. And a great many of them, including one sitting governor, have welched on that promise, including, well, that's John Kasich of Ohio, who made a big deal in the media today of saying that he didn't personally vote for Mr. Trump. And there's 8 other governors besides him, 9 other governors besides him, that have also not supported, not endorsed Mr. Trump. This is just unheard of. So we have one party that doesn't want to see its own candidate win. The other party's candidate is under FBI investigation, and the reason that's important is I believe that this is a setup with allegations of impropriety and voter fraud on both sides. I would think what they're trying to set up is that if anybody challenges the results of a popular election in any state, those challenges will be seen as valid because of all of the outside involvement with the Russians and with Mr. Comey and all this kind of thing, so that when the actual vote takes place on December 9th at the Electoral College, those electors will not be bound. They're not bound legally now, but they'll have a reason. They'll have a standing to say, okay, even though the popular vote in my state went for Mr. Trump, let's say, we're going to cast blank ballots. We're not going to vote for him. We can't in good conscience vote for the man because we don't like him. We're going to vote for Miss Clinton instead. They can do anything they want. So when all these pundits get on the TV this coming Tuesday and say, well, this person gets this vote and that person gets that vote, and we think this person won or that person won, that's going to be meaningless. It's going to absolutely be meaningless. The decision's not going to be made until they get together on the 9th of December. Now, here's something else that's a bit of a problem. The actual tabulation session where Congress gets together and receives the vote from the electors doesn't occur until the 7th of January of 2017. It's a joint session of Congress where each state submits its votes. Now, it's very possible that if a state has decided to abstain or switch its vote from one party to the other, regardless of the results of the popular vote, that we might see neither candidate reach the 270. Remember, it's not who has the most votes in the Electoral College, it's who reaches 270. So if neither candidate reaches 270, then what happens is the vote for president goes to Congress in a simple majority vote. And that's it. And that is who the president is. And there's nothing that can be done about that. There's nothing illegal about that. There's nothing that can be challenged in the courts. And even if there was, we only have 8 sitting justices right now. And with only 8 sitting justices, with 4 in each camp, there would be no way anything could be decided. Congress is also going to have new members next year. And I think that might be what the gameplay from the Democratic side is. Because if they can't win the popular vote, but if they can sway enough electors to abstain from voting or to swing their vote back to Miss Clinton, and they can put it before Congress, it's widely believed that Congress, on both sides, the Senate and the House, is going to swing into the power of the Democrats. And if that's the case, Mr. Trump could win the vast plurality of the popular vote and still not be president. He could technically win enough electors to reach 270, but those electors might not vote for him. Even though their states would say that they would have to, based on the popular vote, that's not a legal binding argument. And that's what I don't think a lot of people are realizing here. And I think that's where this is going to go. So we could see a huge constitutional crisis in this country, and it may spell the end of the Electoral College. Because for the first time, we might see, and I shouldn't say it for the first time, because Gore won a popular vote win over Bush back in 2000, but it was a very slight margin. We could see, something completely different happen in this election. And it would cause a great deal of problems in this country. And I would warn anybody out there who's a Trump supporter that some of these people are not going to take this lying down, and you really don't want to be involved in that with those people, because the Electoral College is the final say. And I'm not a Clinton supporter either, but I think they have found a loophole to exploit, and I think they're going to do it this time. So anyway, that's all I had to say. I think I've covered everything. If anybody has any questions, please comment. Thanks.